Major Hill, Ndume, and Ms. Kathy Abbott about the Bill Allen case, and this is the second of 2 shows that we've done dealing with the efforts on the part of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People to perhaps make a plea, a final plea, and I think many of them have been making these pleas for the last 12 or 15 years to somehow get Bill Allen out of the Tennessee prison. And Major Hill, let's give you an opportunity to make some statements, some final statements in reference to efforts to bring Bill out. And we will follow that up with Dr. Kathy Abbott and Mr. Ndume. We want you to sort of wind up the whole thing because your situation is really a very, very unique situation, especially you've been there, and not only have you been there, you were actually on death row for 20 years, you say?
Yes.
Yeah, we want to talk to you about that at another time. But let's start off, Major Hill, give us some information in reference to
this Bill Allen case is very unusual, but you got to put yourself back into the 60s. The whole community was fearful then. Paranoia was running wild in the white community. They thought that black people were going to take over the neighborhood. Inflammatory statements by the news media and television, and it had Nashville in a state where it could have just blown over. And people were fearful. The police department was fearful. And when they'd send them out at night, they wanted to investigate anything that looked unusual. And so they would stop a car with 4 or 5 blacks in it, thinking that maybe this is the big break. You know, the conditions back then were terrible on both sides. You know, fear was running rampant. And around the college campuses, we, and I say we, I was one of the people, we were very fearful of things going on that we didn't know about. You know, so situations brought that about, but it has nothing to do with the man we're talking about today. He has served time. You know, they let other people out of prison who committed theft and this sort of thing. When they let them out, there's no real rehabilitation. They come right back. But a person accused of a crime like Bill, they're not repeat people because deep down they're not criminals. I met Bill about 6 years ago, and since that time we've communicated every week, and I find him to be a fine, upstanding young man that could contribute something to the community. You know, a person that takes a leadership in a prison and other prisoners go to him for advice and stuff, why not bring that man out? Because he's not a danger to the community.
Right.
You know, he's maintained a decorum that a lot of people couldn't have done, and keep the attitude he has. And that attitude is infectious. It goes to the people that he meets and associates with. I hope to God that people forget politics and look at the justice side of that and let him come out and be of service to the total community.
Very good. Dr. Abbott?